Alrighty, well hello everyone, how are you guys doing? It is Tireless God here with another Tireless Talk, and today I'm my buddy here, 9TY. Say hello, 9TY.
Hey, what's going on?
And we are going to be talking about the Wilderness Warbands for this Tireless Talk. Alrighty, Ben, so what do you think about this whole warband situation, about like the friends chat and just everything in general, the experience and how it's affected the game?
Well, initially when it first came out, I really didn't care too much. I didn't really know what it was about, and to me, it was just some sort of PKing activity. And me personally, I've never really been a PKer, so I didn't really care. But then, I think it was actually you who told me the experience that you got from it, which was an obscene amount per day in either farming, smithing, mining, construction, and herblore. And obviously, I was super excited by this because, 300k plus experience per day for doing something that takes 15 to like 60 minutes was
Mm-hmm.
like unheard of. It was awesome. But then things sort of changed. I lost that awesome feeling because when it was first released, there were numerous friends chats that all grouped together to go out into the wilderness together to sort of stay safe. But then often these friends chats would like there'd be friction and they'd fight and there'd be like mini wars between them, which was awesome. It was exciting. It was a way I'd never really experienced the wilderness like that before, and it also did revive the wilderness. But since then, Warband PK has sort of taken over and monopolized the whole PKing friends chat for Warbands, and they're charging obscene amounts of money for places for ranks in the friends chat, and it's just not the way it was intended to be, not the way Jack has intended, and that doesn't really sit well with me. So I'm not sure what you think, but yeah.
You know, I am probably in the exact same spot. The French chats, they like literally, they're making so much money off of this. This was literally, I saw Jagex's like plans. Like I understand what they were getting at. They wanted people to go into the wilderness, they wanted to revive it. And if there were war bands, they thought people would group together and they would fight each other and they would like, like it made sense. But the thing is, this warband PK has become so huge that like their shared world has like 300 people or more going on it at one time. And just for any other friends chat just to try to get in, it's like impossible. And they have such strict restrictions, like you need to be able to do this much damage, wear this kind of armor, that anyone kind of just running in there to try to get kills will not get it. Everyone will be piled and they'll die. And it's just literally like free experience. As long as you abide by their rules and you don't mess up, it's like 300k experience in mining, smithing, herblore, construction, or farming. You can get one of those skills 300k a day. And it's just upsetting to see how far it's come. And like you were saying, these people are making so much money on it selling ranks because if you guys don't know, if you have a rank in a friends chat, if someone has a full friends chat and you're ranked in their friends chat, you'll be able to get in regardless if it's full and you'll kick someone out. So they're basically saying, hey, if you pay me a certain amount of money, you'll always be able to get into my friends chat and you will basically never die at warbands. So they are making large amounts of money. It's not what it's intended for. The wilderness is active in the sense that people are getting experience and there's people out there, but the wilderness being alive in the sense of PKing, it's still very dead.
Okay, so having said all of this, do you have any ideas that could be possibly used to rectify this situation? Is there anything that can be done at all?
See, the number one thing that I think should be done in the wilderness is take out the toggle system of multi and single. That should not be a thing in the wilderness. Now, the way the old wilderness was there were certain areas that said multi, there were other areas that said single, and that made it so only one-on-one fights could happen all the time. Now, if this were to happen in warbands, now, if we were all just single combat in all the spots, everyone could go out there to PK and it wouldn't be 100 people versus one person trying to kill someone. It would just be one guy going out there, and if you were an unlucky person to be his target, you would die. And that would put real risk and reward into the wilderness, because every single person that's going out into a warband PK needs to be ready to fight. They're not simply going to go out there and get free experience anymore. They need to be able to fight for their supplies and be able to, work for it. It's not so much, there's no risk when you go in a group of 300 people. It's only pure reward. The wilderness is made for risk reward. And I mean, I've been out in the wilderness a few times with Ben here, and we've been killing people in the wilderness and war bands with this kind of tactic that I came up with. And people get so mad at us, but the thing is, you're in the wilderness. We're allowed to kill you. I don't care what you say. So that's kind of my idea. What are your thoughts on my thought?
Well, I really like that. I'd never considered something like that before. Obviously, it would be quite a big change because you'd be changing the whole mechanics of the wilderness, but that would make sense. I mean, you would have to fight for yourself,
Hmm.
and like you said, uh, it wouldn't be 100 people on one person. It would just be only ever one on one,
Hmm.
which I think would really, really help the situation.
Yeah.
People have suggested that you nerf warbands, and that it won't make the wilderness any more alive. It'll just stop the wilderness altogether. I think there's still you need that big incentive for people to go out and go into the wilderness and risk their items. But there's this exile Turk. He's being a bit of a clown here. Sorry about that. Um, but I just don't think a nerf is the way to go. And I had a couple of ideas, which I'm not sure if they would actually work out. But what if there were more like official groups, like part of the game, and they went out into the warbands. So it was almost like you were in a lobby and you'd be split up into two teams or however many teams, and you would both go into the wilderness and you'd be sort of forced to fight together. Either way, this would take the power out of Warband PK's hands, which I think I would really like to see, and it would create some sort of friction within the wilderness. I'm not sure how well that would actually integrate into
Hmm.
the mechanics of the game, but I just think there needs to be something that causes some sort of fighting or something between there. But I think of between these two ideas that we've had, I think your idea is probably more practical.
It probably is, because I mean, literally, like you said, I'm changing the wilderness and its functionality, but I'm changing it back to what it was, not what it's
Yeah,
become. So I am
yeah,
changing the wilderness, but it's originally how the wilderness was laid out. So I mean, I just feel like that's the perfect idea because then there would be no need to nerf warbands because every single person's at risk, and
exactly.
I feel it would also limit the amount of people that go out to warbands because everyone would be like, oh god, I don't want to go die. Or like maybe if it continues to have people out there, those PKers, like they put a conversion rate, as you guys know or may not know. If you kill someone with 25 items, is it? Yeah, 25 items on you.
Yep.
It gives that player 100k coins drop, not the items. So it would make more sense for people who want to go out there PK and make money because they could just go out there, kill these people one on one, and get a bunch of 100Ks without like worrying about dying or anything. And honestly, that's just the coolest thing ever, I think.
So the only other thing I think about that is if this were put into place and the warbands areas were only single combat areas and stuff, um, would people still congregate in friends chats for some sort of safety reasons? Because it could be if you were PK'd by someone who was in that friends chat, then you would be exiled from that friends chat.
Hmm.
But then again, you wouldn't be fighting 100 people. You would only ever be fighting one person at a time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there is still, power in numbers. And being able to congregate in friends chats would be more of a safety precaution, like you were saying. Like, if you run out into a warband and you're with 100 people versus if you're with 3, like, you're more probably, statistically, you're going to be chosen more, like, out of the 3. There's more odds of, again, someone choosing you than if you were to go into a giant pile of 50. And the
Yep.
thing is, if a PKer goes out there to kill people, he may be able to take out like 4 or 5 people. But after a little while, those people may be able to turn on him because he's like, oh well, this guy's killed like 6 people. He's probably has no food left or ready to do anything. So they'd go out there and they would want to leave after a certain amount of kills and whatnot. So I still think there is still power in numbers and there's still reasons for the friends chats. It would just not necessarily be for 100% protection like it is right now, where literally if you're in a friends chat, you're golden for getting experience and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think being in friends chat may be preferred or a bit safer, but it's not
Mm.
necessary to actually complete the warband like it is now.
Mhm. And the other thing is, it would destroy the warband PK friends chat almost entirely.
I would love to see that so much.
It would.
I
They would
hate the way
literally
they're controlling
crumble.
this.
I mean, if you want to buy a rank so you're in a group of people so you know you're protected or something like that, then go for it. But the thing is, they could offer that, but then at the same time, why would you do friends chats? They'd probably just switch to like team capes because then you have more people going at one time. So I mean, it's
Exactly.
kind of a weird thing. And also, Gertger's logged on, so that's pretty cool.
I think it is fundamentally wrong the way Warband PK has this monopolistic thing about it. It's just they should be able to capitalize on Jagex's implementation of updates. It just seems so wrong to me. I was so excited about the friends chat when it was first in game, like I said, but now I really just hate them. Like I'm forced to use them as well. I mean, I don't want to miss out on the experience, but it's just does not sit right with me.
The thing is, like the experience, I'm so happy to get it, and I want it to be changed at the same time. But I'm just like, I don't know. I got 99 farming from it, and I'll tell you, I'm looking at my 99 farming. I really don't feel like I have 99 farming. I'll tell you that much. I honestly,
Yeah.
I don't feel any sense of accomplishment. The only thing that makes me happy is I'm closer to my maxscape. It's a little bit depressing.
See, if you were to have to fight for these things in experience, I would feel like I earned that 99 because I literally
Exactly.
did fight for this skill. But there's no fighting involved at the moment, so
Exactly.
yeah,
If there were,
it's
like I
not
was
quite a
saying,
sense of accomplishment.
exactly, like I was saying, if there's a mass of people and anyone can die at any time and it's not just reliant on numbers, then you getting out of the wild, it's just like, oh cool, I got out today. I got like, 25 of my 75, but you know what? I at least made it through most of them, and that's awesome that I got experience. It would cut the amount of experience so much because people would be dying left and right for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh man, is there anything else you really think about the warbands or the whole situation, or thoughts of changing it or anything?
The only other thing to consider would be the impact on like the Edgeville PKs. I'm not sure how much multi PKing goes on there at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I've done literally no PKing, so I would have no idea. But I think it would be worth investigating its impact on them because either way, I don't think there's a lot of them, so it won't drastically, mess a lot of people up or send away a lot of the player base.
And I'm fairly
Um,
certain in Edgeville PKing is single for the most part. I don't think a lot of multi PKing goes on in level 7 wilderness.
Yeah, yeah,
And if multi PKing ever does go on, it's usually a bunch of people, and they're like, I'm gonna go multi PK with a bunch of people. And also, if you're gonna multi PK, why don't you just go to clan wars?
yeah. That's always confused me. I don't really get the point of this whole. Yeah,
Yeah, so basically that's like all my thoughts on the warbands. It needs to be changed in some way. Being nerfed, not necessarily, might help it because it won't be so as popular, but at the same time people will still want free XP every day. If I still got like 150k XP a day, I'd be like, that's awesome.
yeah,
But
exactly.
there needs to be some change. Something needs to happen. Honestly, I think my idea, I don't want to sound cocky. Like, I really don't want to sound cocky, but I think my idea is literally the best idea that I've heard out of most people. Not because I would just want to see my idea implemented, but purely because it will bring rise to the wilderness again, and PKing, and like what it used to be. Like I said in my last Tireless talk, the wilderness used to be a bunch of risk reward, people going out there and like, they knew that they were risking themselves, but they know if they get out, they make a lot of money kind of thing. Or in this sense, and not making money, but making a lot of experience. So
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
wanted to go back to that. And like I said before, there were the people gathering resources, the people wanting to gather, the people wanting to kill the people gathering resources, then the people wanting to kill the people who were killing the people who were gathering resources. And that's kind of how the wilderness would devolve then because of warbands. So warbands can become the Rune Rocks of 13scape. And I think it should.
Yeah. Awesome. So is that it? Do you reckon? Is that all you said? All you wanted to say?
I think I got everything off my mind. How about you? I mean, I
Yeah,
see
I
you
think that's
logged
about
out,
it.
so...
No, that was a quick hop.
Oh, quick hop. I was like, well, obviously you're done.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, did you
Thanks
finish your
everyone for
daily, by
watching.
the way?
oh no, I haven't. I did like goals
Aw.
because the concentrator kept running out.
Fine.
I'll show a bit of silence here because are we gonna do split outros?
Nah, it's okay. We can just do it at the same time.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. I'm keeping this part in, too. It doesn't matter. Screw
Oh
editing.
no, this is all gonna be edited out.
No, it's
Oh
staying.
well, I'm gonna edit this out because this is just embarrassing. I'm not having this filth on my channel. Some of us have standards.
I don't. I just post what I want.
Anyway, yeah, that sums up today. Thanks everyone for watching. I'd like to know what you guys think about this whole Warbands thing. If you've got any suggestions of how this could be fixed, please leave them in the comments below. As the link to Tireless God's channel will, of course, be in the link below because he is a sex pants and you should all subscribe to him.
And the same for 9TY. He'll be in my description as well.
Yeah. So is there something you want to say for the outro bit? I mean, I've said my bit.
Pants.
I was drinking water, not cool. Um,
That's
I don't
it.
care what happens after this, as long as I can finish on illy long time.
Alrighty. Go ahead. You can say it.
Illy long
My
time.
pants.